it's good to get that off for a while, isn't it? I don't mind wearing the mask. They're uncomfortable. They make my face sweat a lot, and I'm not really keen on breathing, smelling my own breath all the time. But, you know, if it keeps people safe, then sure. You know, it's a small inconvenience, not a big deal. I can deal with it. I'm a grown man. You know, I spent 20 years in the military and served during the first Gulf War. And, you know, we went through MOP exercises where, you know, we were in gas masks and MOP gear, which is your CBRE, your chemical, biological, radiological gear. You know, we were in that gear for hours on end. And I mean, you know, I've heard people complain about wearing them to the store. I've worn a gas mask for 8 hours straight and then come out of it. And I mean, you're just puddled up. You just got a puddle at the bottom of this rubber mask. You know, so at least these are cloth, they're breathable. You know, if you've ever served in the military, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The mask mandates aren't a big deal for me right now. I just take it with a grain of salt. So I'm headed out to Land Between the Lakes, my favorite place to go camp. It's Saturday, November 7th. November 7th, the first week of November. It is 80, it says 77 degrees out right now. It's in the upper 70s. Lows tonight are going to be in the 50s. And I believe, I'm really hoping it's the mid to low 50s, because I have a 20-degree bag and a 20-degree underquilt that I brought. So I am way overpacked for this. You know, I probably could have gone much lighter, but you know, I'm a convenience guy. I'm a comfort guy. You know, I'm not trying to rough it too much. You know, I want to hang my hammock. I want to be comfortable. I want to have a nice campfire. You know, I want to just enjoy being alongside the lake for a while. So that's the plan for today. We're going to go out and see if my favorite spot is open. I've camped there before. I've actually run videos there before. I really like the spot. Last time I was there, I set up a nice fire pit, and I want to see if that fire pit is still there. I mean, I had a lot of rocks built up around it. It was a perfect size. I had it in the location. I moved it in a better location for me. Other people moved it somewhere else, and I didn't like that location. So I kind of cleaned that location up and moved everything to a different, just shifted it a little bit. It's not a designated camp spot. Land Between the Lakes has dispersed camping, so this isn't a designated camp spot, but it is a common campsite, if that makes sense. A lot of people go there. It's accessible by car if you've got four-wheel drive. You know, so people like to go out there and car camp sometimes. It's a good fishing spot, and you know, I just like it. I've got a great place to hang my, I got a pair of trees over there that I hang my hammock off of and set up. It's got a great view of the water when I set up. So, you know, it's got access to wood, water, everything I need. So that's the plan. I'm going to go out and see if my favorite spot is open. And if not, well, then I'll wing it. I got plenty of daylight. You know, it's only about 11 o'clock in the morning. My hope is I'll get there, get set up pretty quick, and then get some lunch on. So let's see how it goes. Let's get out there, see if the spot's open, and then we'll talk more. All right. So I typically go to a spot, deer, I go to a spot up here that's about maybe a quarter mile, if that, a tenth of a mile. It's not far from the trailhead. And I'm hoping it'll be open. It's a great spot. It's a great location. It's crowded at the trailhead. As you might have saw on the coming in, there's probably 8 trucks, cars there. A lot of people hiking because the weather is nice. So hopefully they're just hiking and not camping. If that's good, then if that's the case, then we're set. So I don't really hear anything else out here. So wow, I hear the leaves falling. You can actually hear the leaves falling. When the wind blows, all the leaves start falling down, and you can hear them coming through the trees. We're low. I don't see anybody up here. There isn't anybody up here, so we're good. This is my spot. Yeah, this is my spot. Somebody got rid of somebody already burned up there's my fire pit. Yeah, that's held up pretty good. Wow. People hiking, but they can hike. This is my campsite. So here we are. This is it. Nice little spot. Start getting set up. Let me get some of this gear dropped off. We'll just set up and have some lunch. Oh, nice. Gorgeous day. Oh, I'm in the shade though, so I might have to go down there and get in the sun just a little bit. Wow, this is going to be great. Awesome, just awesome. My favorite spot, my favorite location, my favorite view. Yeah, this is good. There's some folks hiking with kids, but that's all right. Good, good. Let's get set up. Got some chicken breasts, and got some chicken breasts, and I've got them. They're wrapped up in plastic, but I've got them keeping my ginger ale can cold. Let's take a look at what all we got in the pack. My food bag. We'll go over that later. My skillet. I bring a piece of lanyard and a clip to hang my bag up. A flannel shirt in case it gets a little chilly. It'll be in the 50s. Binoculars just because sometimes it's a great view and I just want to go take a look. My axe, my saw, and my chair. some 550 cord, my war bonnet Blackbird XLC, some extra clothing, my sleep clothes mostly, a little ground tarp to put on the underneath the hammock, a jacket. I bring a puffy jacket, put it around my feet so it's around like a foot box at night for extra warmth. My cook kit. I do a lot of cooking on the fire too, so the cook kit is mostly boiling water. In the top I've got my toiletries, fire starting, etc. My Superfly tarp. And I've got a solar charger, first aid kit. Set of headphones. In the front pouch, a Gerber. I like it. I use it for different things sometimes, maybe not. I don't know. I just brought it because it was in the truck. Phoenix flashlight. That's great because it has incredible illumination at night. It's also got a strobe feature. My camp knife. Gloves, cut-proof gloves. Cut-resistant gloves, I should say. So I'll pull this off just like the continuous ridge line from the website. They've got a video on how to set this up with the alien loops. It's really easy, super quick, and then I just tie an extra little loop. So all I have to do is pull this end and the whole thing will come loose. But until then, you know, it's pretty tight, even though I've got it crooked as a country highway. Got the toggles here, and I just attach my tarp to that, and I'm all set. All I gotta do is make sure it's level. And I'm gonna look pretty level, so that'll be nice. All right, let's get the rest set up. So this loop is on the ridge line, and there's the toggle, and I just push that toggle through, and then that's it. And it's like a little pressing knot set up. All I have to do is tighten that up on each end and pull the whole thing tight. I think I've got to pull that a little bit. I got to adjust this. It's a little too far out. I went too far out with it, so I can't really get my tarp all the way down. So I'll just pull this loose and then reattach it. So easy peasy. All right, there we go. I've readjusted this and moved it closer to the tree. I'm like, that is tight. Yeah, see? Nice. Some people go over the ridge line. I don't all the time. I like to be able to take it and flip it over the ridge line in the daytime. you know, just flip it back. So let me finish setting it up, show you how I got my final setup. So I hooked my tarp up with hookworms from Dutchware. I ordered it with the cord, the little Dyneema cord, because it's super lightweight. I got yellow. Don't ever get black because you can't find it. You'll lose it. So what I've got is, I've got my stake in the ground, and I've got my line right here. And at the end, I've got this little hookworm, and that's all it is. It's just this little piece here. But it's a really ingenious system because I can hook up. I've got some shock cord to the corners, and when I pull it, I can just tighten it up, letting that shock cord pull the tension. And then with this, I just make a little loop. That goes around the tail on this hookworm. And you see how I go under and then back through. So if I want to, it'll stay tight. The tension pulls it and keeps it tight. But if I ever want to take it apart, I just pull on it and it just pops it loose. So I can make it as tight or as loose as I want it to be. And that works great, and that'll keep, you know, that shock cord keeps it tension. Even, you know, I can pull it a little tighter for when it's windy, but I like the adjustability, and it's really easy to just take it off. So on the front sides, when I want to undo them, I just undo the hook from the shock cord and flip the front back, and then at night I just put it back and rehook my line to it. I don't even need to adjust it. So good job, Dutch. It comes out really good. I really like it. It makes for a really quick and easy setup. So the other thing about the tick tarps that I like is, you know, you see I've got it flipped over the continuous ridge line and flipped back. I've got the doors tied up underneath with just some shock cord. The other thing I like about those tick tarps, or hookworms, I'm sorry, I keep calling them tick tarps. The hookworms is that, look, I can put 2 pieces of shock cord, so when I flip the top back, I can just hook it on to the same line in the back, and it holds the whole thing back. And then at night, I can just unhook that shock cord, flip it back over, and I've covered if I want to do that or if it starts raining. So I want to get a little firewood, start on some lunch. It's almost 1 o'clock, so it's definitely time to eat. I am hungry as a hostage, so I'm gonna get something to eat. Camp is coming along pretty decent. I've got my ground tarp set up, got my hammock set up, my shower bag, or just sundries, and yeah, I'll get a little bit of water, get some wood, and get some lunch. I think I've got some north sides with some chicken. I think I'm gonna throw some chicken in there and see if it might, if it's defrosted. It might just be some chicken in a package thrown in there. All right, let's get to it. So I like making fire with flint and steel whenever I can. I keep other stuff. I keep a ferro rod. I keep lighters, things like that. I like to have at least 3 different sources of ignition if I can. But flint and steel just has a certain satisfaction to it. So, you know, when you can do something with a primitive method, I mean, you just feel like you have a sense of accomplishment when you're done. So what I've got is my steel, my piece of flint, and then my char cloth canister. And I actually made this char cloth here. Last time I was here, I found a rag somebody had left in an old fire pit, and it was cotton. It was a cotton rag, so I took it, and you can use anything with natural fibers, and I rolled it up and put it in. Oh, it's making me sneeze. And I put it in here and made char cloth out of it, and it seemed like it does okay. Let's find out how good it is, though, and let's find out how good I am. If you've never used flint and steel before, the whole key is to take the char cloth, which will catch a spark easily. We want to create an ember using this char cloth, and I roll it up like a little cigar, so you have plenty of time. You have plenty of time to, you know, it'll burn for a long time, and that gives you plenty of time to work with it. Now, and when I spark, I'm just grazing, and you'll see I'm already throwing sparks, and I'm just trying to shave pieces of metal off using my flint. I'm not trying to chip the flint. I'm trying to graze sparks, metal off to create sparks. And if I can get one to catch onto my char cloth like that, and it begins to spread. Once I get it to spread, I put it in my tinder bundle, which is just a bunch of dried grass. And I'm trying to get that tinder to turn into, that ember to turn into a flame. See, it's burning really hot now. I just got to get it to catch. And I don't put my face above it because fire climbs, and that's why, right there. I hope I got all of that on camera, because that worked great. It's dry conditions today, so you know, it wasn't really challenging to get a fire started. You know, flint and steel is not as hard as it looks. It just takes a little bit of preparation, a little bit of technique. So I was able to get that char cloth to catch pretty quick, and then from there I was able to use that tinder bundle, that little tinder bundle there, to turn that ember into a flame. And once I got that flame, I can transfer that over to my kindling. All right, I'm going to tend this fire. So I grilled up a little chicken with a skillet. What's that? I made some nor rice sides. Pretty good. It's not bad. coming out to land between the lakes because there's just so much to do out here. Not that I do a lot. I mean, I come out and I set up, cook dinner, and camp. Sleep outside. But it's just nice. I mean, there's so much land. And camping in the woods is okay, but I don't know. I just have a hard time with not being on the water. You know, being on a creek or something would be nice, I guess. But well, look at that. And there's 300 miles of shoreline to do that with. 700,000 acres of land. And you can just do just about anything. If you want to go off-roading, there's a whole off-road area that's set up for that. If you want to ride horses, there's a whole wranglers camp ground that for horses. There's horse trails. You can go BM, you know, I don't know, dirt bike riding, not dirt bike, you know, mountain bike riding. Bushcraft. Only thing is you can't do anything permanent. The fire ring is a little different. That's been here. And I really think this was an established campsite at one time, but over time it's just kind of become disestablished. But the fire ring was already here. I just moved it a little. I wanted it closer to my setup. People had it over there, which I'm not a fan of. You get a big wide view of the water, but you know, there's better areas up here for tenting, I think. You know, and you can put tents around your fire. Small tents. You don't need a big tent up here. There's a little downhill run to it, so it's not super flat. This is my favorite spot. This is Camp Morgan. So I named my spots. Got Camp Dillon, which is a place that my best friend and I ended up going to and camping. It was really nice. It's just lowland, so when the lake is high, and the lake level does vary dramatically. When the lake level's high, it's kind of swamped out. Right over there's a tent over in the other place that I usually camp as well. That's Camp Melissa. There's Camp Morgan. Morgan is my dog. We have 4 dachshunds, but Morgan. So all the dogs, they're good dogs. They all like us, but they all have their favorite. Morgan's the one that I'm her favorite. So more than my dog. So this is Camp Morgan. All I did was grill that chicken, cook up the rice side, and just throw the chicken in. Nothing fancy. But I can't just have rice by itself. It did stick to the bottom, burnt the bottom of my toques. Well, that didn't work out as well as I'd hoped. Well, I'll figure it out. Man. So next time maybe I boil the water, then put the side in. Yeah. And let it soak. Almost perfect. Not bad. But I'm full. My other... Oh. There goes my chair. My other little hack is this. Life water bottles are super light, cheap, easy. They have squeezy tops. I put Gatorade powder in the bottom. So when I filter water, it just makes Gatorade. I bring the Nalgene because I can put hot water in there if I need. If my filter dies, I can always just boil water and put it in the Nalgene. Well, that's dinner. I think I'm going to get a little more wood. I've only got a little bit. I just used twigs and stuff to make some coals for cooking. But I'm going to get some wood for tonight. It's not going to be cold, but it's going to be dark. So I'll get some wood. And I don't know, might take a nap. It's a good day for a nap. And probably more water. I think I've got another bottle of this, another one of these. I don't know. I got a ton of water, really, I guess. Alright, this might be a little low. So I just take dried grass, clean out my skillet. It absorbs all the grease. And that's easier to wash than a whole bunch of grease and oil and all that in there. Figure I might as well take a walk. I've been down the other way a bit. I've never really been down this way except kayaking. We kayak around here a lot, so all of this is always underwater. right there, that bank right there, the water comes up about halfway. You can see where the gravel is, and then it kind of gives way. But yeah, all the way you could, we beached our kayaks right here, pretty much where I'm standing, right here, and then all of this is underwater. So I mean, you could, I mean, it's pretty deep out there too by the time the water comes up. So you see how much the water level changes. That other campsite over there, I've got a video of that from last time where it flooded out, and you see how high this water gets. This is, as a matter of fact, Fort Morgan here. This is where the other guys came and pooped in my camp. So yeah, one time when I camped here, some guys came in and they started fishing at like 6 in the morning in my right in my camp, and then they parked their truck next to it, and then they pooped next to the truck, and I noticed it after they left, and I was a little bit upset about that because they pooped in my camp, and I thought that was extremely rude. Yeah, I've never been up this end of this. Now I see why. This tree. This tree's a mess. See if I can get over without busting my tail. Ooh. I've always wondered though if this would be a decent area to camp, but you know, seeing as where the water is here compared to down there, I think when the water's high, this would just be flooded. You know, this would all just be underwater or swamped out. So yeah, looking at how all these roots, if you take a look at these roots, you can see how uncovered they are. This is where it all just washes away. Wow. Yeah, so it just washes it all away every time the water comes up. Huh. Yeah, this would just be miserable when the water's high. Good point. But it's worth an exploration. You know, when the water's low though, you do find all kinds of crazy stuff. I found farming equipment. I found a plow point out here just uncovered. I didn't take it. I don't like to take artifacts and stuff when I find them. That's left here. I just think it's rude. So I don't want to, you know, maybe somebody else will discover it. Whoa. So, wow. So people make little floats and stuff, I think, for hunting and whatnot. And there's one of them. Probably a hunting platform or something. But just floated away. Those look like rotor discs. Maybe they welded them together for an anchor. I don't know. No, if you got any ideas, leave me some comments. Is this? Oh, they put fencing around the edges. Wonder what that's for. Huh. Yeah, it looked like it just washed up here when the water was high, and it just got stuck. Not a good firewood. I don't know that I want to go dragging it all back. Bugs. I can hear a woodpecker. Sounds like a frog. Every once in a while, something splashing in the water. Huh. It's just neat. I really am debating this firewood. Just taking a bundle of it. It's been cut off. Somebody cut it up. Maybe I'll come back. Maybe I'll come back without the camera. Take a look. So there's tracks all along here that look like deer, I guess. And footprints. Somebody's boots. I don't want to walk across that. That just looks like nasty shoes waiting to happen. Huh. I think I'll head back. I'm gonna grab some more firewood. Some of them sticks, take it with me. Bacon wrapped chicken and, well, just bacon. Bacon and bacon wrapped chicken. So I watch a lot of Corporal's Corner. Well, I watch his videos. He comes out with one about once a week, but he's always cooking something with bacon. So not everything that he does is this stuff that I'm going to do. It's always interesting. I'm not going to build a fort in the woods or anything, but it's kind of neat to watch him. But yeah, the bacon. Always cooking something with bacon. I think he just has bacon wrapped bacon, and I'm okay with that. Bacon is a condiment for other meats. So I'm gonna have dinner. Cooking right now. The sun's starting to come down. It's only about, it's not even 5 o'clock yet, but with daylight savings time it gets dark fast around here. But you know, you get a great sunset because I'm on the west side of the peninsula for Land Between the Lakes, so that means I get the sunset. The sunrise comes up over there, so I get to sleep in a little more. And you know, and I get a late morning. But yeah, it's just gorgeous out here right now. I mean, just look at that. You know, the campfire, the sunset, and this is why I come out. I'll come out here all day and hang out and build up enough wood. I got a big pile of wood. And I did grab a bunch of that stuff right there that was over there and lugged all that stuff back with my camera trying to stick it out of my pocket. But you know, I'll come out here all day and do all this work just to sit here and enjoy a sunset. You know, I'm not a big commune with nature guy. I'm not into this. You know, spirituality kind of escapes me, I guess. But the peacefulness, though, I can deal with that. I like the peacefulness and the quiet. It could be a little cooler, though. I don't even know what temperature is. I wish it were a little cooler. It's supposed to be in the 50s, but I think it's going to be the upper 50s. I'm really not hopeful for much. I don't even have my underquilt on yet because I'm just not sure I'm going to need it. I'm hoping I will. I don't want to get in that weird area where I don't put it on and in the middle of the night I'm cold and I got to get up and try to figure out and put it on. I'll probably end up putting it on anyway, but a breeze would be okay too. I never thought I'd be sitting here in November just sweating. So the weirdest trip I've ever had in November, but I'm not going to argue. You know, one more great weather camping day. So I'm going to finish cooking. Got to flip this over. So I don't know if I've mentioned this before. This was, my wife got me this for Christmas. This is, she got it at TJ Maxx, and it's just a little knife, fork, spoon, bottle opener. And I like it because it comes apart like that. And I didn't know that until the first time I went camping, and I'm sitting here eating with it, and it came apart in my hands, and I thought, well, I think I just broke it. And then I was like, no, this is great because, you know, this is perfect for eating. It's a little heavier, but, you know, I really don't care. It's just so convenient. I don't like sporks. A spork is terrible for eating soup because it all runs out the end of the fork part, and it's terrible as a fork because the tines aren't deep enough to really pick anything up. So I don't like sporks. You know, I'd rather just have a spoon or a fork, and I need both. It's not titanium, but who cares? You know, this is great. It was a great little gift, and it was something that she just picked up at the checkout on the way out from TJ Maxx, and it was just sitting there on the checkout aisle. She picked it up. It was probably like $5. And I've brought it on every trip, and it's handy as can be. Well, Corporal was right. Bacon wrapped anything is pretty good. The bacon does get into the bacon grease, gets into the pan, gets all through the chicken. Makes it really good. Oh, good. Mm. Mm. Oh yeah. Never understand why people aren't drinking Gatorade. I mean, I know you drink water. Then again, I don't see people drink a lot. Beer. People drinking beer. A lot of guys taking a beer out with them. But yeah, I don't know why. I'm not a water fan. Water's okay. I'm not a fan. Another thing I did was I brought some chicken seasoning out. It's a Weber's. And I brought it out, and I just kind of rubbed the chicken with it. Sprinkled it all over pretty heavily. It's good. It adds a good flavor. My wife found it. Don't worry, honey, I didn't take the bottle this time. So one time I went camping, I took the whole bottle, and I was gone for a week. She never uses it. She doesn't make chicken that often, but this time I was gone and she was wanting to make chicken. She asked me where it was, and I had it. The one time I took it. So now I just I have an empty pill bottle, and that's fine. You take the label off, it works great. I use an empty pill bottle and just dump some in it. Makes a good little carrier. I brought way too much food. I didn't need this much food. I got a giant bag there, just full of food. Might have a cup of coffee later on. Cricket's already starting. Coffee's always great. Clouds rolling in, kind of covering up the sunset. But you still get a good reflection over there. That looks ominous, but I don't think it's not supposed to rain. But wouldn't be the first time the forecast was wrong. So, all right, I'll get the fire stoked up a little bit. Clean up, take my shoes off, relax a little bit. Might be an early night. I'm definitely going to listen to an audiobook. I started listening to the Wheel of Time series. So, if you don't know, the Wheel of Time came out in the 90s. And it was a huge success. There's tons of books. I've got a lot of friends who've read it over the years and loved it. I've never read it. Been out for 30 years. I just never read it, never watched it, never know anything about it. And I guess they're going to make a TV series out of it or something. I don't know. So I started listening to the first one. It hadn't caught me yet. I don't know what the hook is. So I'm gonna listen to an audiobook for a while, settle in, relax a little bit. Oh, one other thing I found. Smart water bottles are a little bit bigger in diameter than life water bottles. So I needed a scoop for the water. I fill up my C-Knock bag and for my Sawyer squeeze to filter my water. So to carry it, I use a smart water bottle as a scoop because I can just slide my life water bottle in it, and I just carry 2 of these empty. No weight, no nothing. I carry my little, and I got my scoop with me. So smart water bottle with a life water bottle inside of it, and that's my scoop. use the leftover coals from last night. Let the fire die down, and the cooler coals over top, the ash, insulates it and keeps those hot coals burning. We just use those to restart our fire in the morning. Now, with building a fire, I make sure I use small fuel until I can have the fire generating enough heat that it becomes self-sustaining. You want to keep adding air and adding air. What it'll do is it'll burn up the air that it's got, and it's not hot enough to pull more air in, so you have to introduce it yourself. And sure, we breathe out carbon dioxide, but we're also blowing in, it's entraining oxygen into the fire as it's going. It's pulling it along with it. Think about, the wind behind a truck, backdrafting behind a truck. It's the same thing. You blow into it, and there's a small oxygen content to your breath remaining, but because we're not 100% efficient. But there's also pulling more air in with it. So that's why the fire starts getting hotter. And as you increase that heat, it's going to burn the fuel more efficiently, and eventually the fuel is going to begin burning hot enough. It pulls its own oxygen into the fire, and then it becomes self-sustaining. And all you have to do is keep adding fuel to your fire, but always keep a couple of small pieces. You've got a good bed of coals under there that remain the next morning, so it's always easy just to reutilize that. I don't think unless it rained, I've never had to restart a fire with anything other than just heating up the coals. You see, I've got a good bed under there now that it's gonna keep on going. Fire likes chaos, and it likes to climb. It does me no good to put, sticks underneath. I prefer to put it on top and just in a random way. And you notice I'm introducing larger pieces. See, it's like a blast furnace. And that'll keep building. I'll just keep building with bigger stuff. I've got larger fuel over here. I've got larger stuff there. I've got enough for the morning. It'll get by just fine. But it's a little chill, so that'll take a little bit of cool off. Had a good breakfast. Slow poking the morning away. It's like 10 o'clock. So let's take a good look There's a it's like 10 o'clock, so I'm gonna start packing up. Well, I've already started packing up, getting everything together. Already got the rest of the camp, for the most part, pretty well torn down. I got, let's see, hammock, sleeping gear and everything packed away. Still got the tarp to come down. That's quick and easy. A few little sundries to put away and in my chair. But I got my shoes on. I got the campfire put out. Dumped a couple of buckets of water on that. I'll go through after it's settled down a little bit and I'm about ready to go. I'll give it another once over, rake the coals over, make sure that everything's out, make sure that it's cool to touch. Always make sure it's cool to touch. I mean, everything around here is dry. I had no problem finding tinder. You know, I just picked it up off the ground, leaves, sticks, grass, you know, so it went up really easy. So, you know, anything left behind here in that fire pit, you know, could easily go up too. So if you're going to go camping, you know, I know leave no trace is our goal, and that's what I'm going for, is to leave no trace, or at least minimal. You know, there's only so much you can do. Ashes are going to still be ashes. You can spread them as much as you want. They're still going to be there. You know, but I try to leave it in better condition than I found it. You know, and I didn't really get a before shot, I don't think, but, you know, we'll clean it up and then I'll give you a nice shot of this after I'm done, and you see how the difference looks between when I was here and when I left. All right, back to work. So I said that when I take this down, the way I hang this up, I just put a little slip knot there so that I can just pull this loose. So, you know, I've used the little alien loop like they show in the videos. You know, it's basically tensioned against itself. I'll pull that, and now I've pulled this loose, so all I've got to do is unhook it, unloop it, and that's it. Now I can just pull the whole thing down, and wrap it up. I'll take this and unloop it from there, and now that's just free to slide along. And I just wrap it up and I put it in with my tarp bag, and my tarp bag goes into the brain of my backpack. It goes into the top compartment, and that's so that if I'm out and I get stuck in the rain or somewhere, it's the first thing that goes up. I can throw it up really quick. I already know where my continuous ridge line is, and then I can throw it up. I can have it up in, you know, in 2 minutes if I had to. All right, so let me finish getting packed. That's it. All cleaned up. Fire pit's out. Picked up all my trash. Now make the short hike back to the truck. Oh, like I said, it's maybe 1/10 of a mile. It's not far up here, so hike my way out, head home. Sunday morning. I'll be home by noon. Have me a little lunch. Take care of a few chores around the house, wash everything up. That's the thing after camping. Cleaning out your filter, cleaning all your water bags, doing your laundry. But this has been a good night. I slept great. I slept amazing. The weather was awesome. So I had it dialed perfect. I mean, it was just so level. Usually my feet are a little high or my head's a little high. I was perfectly level. Felt great. So yeah, you know, again, that's, you know, it's a War Bonnet XLC with, you know, I've got a Kelty Cosmic 20-degree bag. I bought it, you know, last year's model type thing, and got it fairly inexpensive. I've got the Wookiee underquilt. It didn't get too hot. It was perfect. It, you know, it just kept me just comfortable. So, you know, it's a 20-degree setup, but you know, it was 70 degrees last night when I went to sleep, and you know, it probably got down in the 50s, but you know, it felt fine. Everything felt good. So, you know, no worries there, no heartbreak. So I'm satisfied with how everything worked, how everything went. Dinner's all right. I brought way too much food again. I've got to lighten up on the food. I'm always worried though that I'm gonna run out or something won't be good. So next time maybe I just need to just stick to bringing a steak. You know, that's really it. I ate the chicken. I didn't even eat all the chicken. So, all right, well, it's been a good time. Until next time, maybe we'll get a little cold weather camping in. I got a buddy that wants to come out and do some cold weather camping. So maybe we'll come back to the same spot, get something a little cooler in. All right, see you next time. Oh, come out to Land Between the Lakes, but don't come to my spot. At least not while I'm there. Well, if I'm there already, just come by and say hi. Cattail.